Brought to you by Penguin.
V13 by Emmanuel Carrère. Read by Rory Alexander. The victims. Day 1. Getting started. Noon, the 8th of September, 2021. Central Paris, Ile de la Cité, under a heavy police guard. For the first time, several hundred of us walk through the security gates, which we'll pass through every day for the next year. Chances are, we'll often say hello to the gendarme we now greet. Soon we'll be all too familiar with these lawyers, with badges hanging from black cords around their necks. These journalists with orange cords. These victims with green or red cords. Some will become friends. The small group of people with whom we'll make the crossing, exchanging notes and impressions, sitting in for each other when the day grows too long, going out for late-night drinks at the Brasserie Les Deux Palais when it all becomes too much. The questions on all of our lips. Will you come to all the sessions? Often, at least. How will you organize your time? What about your family? Your children? Some, it's clear, will only come on the days expected to be the most intense. Others have vowed to come to every session, the slow days as well as the highlights. I'm one of them. Will I hold out? The schedule. At the end of July, we learned that the trial wouldn't last 6 months, but 9. A school year. A pregnancy. The program itself hadn't changed. What had was the time allotted to the plaintiffs. There are around 1,800 of them, and it's still not known how many will testify. They'll be able to add or remove their names until the last minute. Each will be given half an hour on average. But who's going to say "time's up" to someone who's searching for words to describe the hell of the Bataclan? The half hour could become an hour. The 6 months are looking more like a year. And I cannot be the only one today wondering why I'm getting ready to spend a year of my life shut away in a giant courtroom, wearing a face mask, waking up at dawn 5 days a week to type up my notes from the previous day before they become illegible. All of which clearly means thinking of nothing else and having no life for a year. Why? Why inflict this on myself? Why did I offer to write this series of articles for the weekly L'Obs? If I were a lawyer, or any other player in the grand judicial apparatus, of course I'd do my bit. Ditto if I were a journalist. But a writer, whom no one has asked to do this, and who, as the Lacanian psychoanalysts say, is only authorized by his desire. A strange desire, this one. Neither I or anyone I knew was affected by the attacks. On the other hand, I am interested in justice. In one of my books, The Adversary, I described the grand proceedings of a criminal court. In another, Other Lives But Mine, the obscure work of a city court. The trial that gets underway today will not be the Nuremberg of terrorism, as some have said. Whereas high Nazi dignitaries were put on trial in Nuremberg, here, the defendants are second stringers, since those who did the killing are dead. Nevertheless, this trial too will be enormous, unprecedented, something I want to witness. That's one reason. Another is that, without being a specialist in Islam, let alone in Arab studies, I am interested in religions, their pathological mutations, and the question, where does this pathology begin? When it comes to God, where does the madness start? What goes on in these guys' minds? But the main reason is that hundreds of human beings who share the experience of having lived through the night of the 13th of November, 2015, who survived it, or survived their loved ones, will stand before us and speak. Day in.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?